left our adventurers that they had attacked Browntooth Village and freed it of the hobgoblin menace there, having quite a fight, taking on a bunch of hobgoblin captains, some bugbears, another hobgoblin captain joined the fray, and there was some pretty close moments as he was both Elrine was felled for a moment and Bonar nearly so, but the group was able to keep it together and get rid of the Cragmaw hobgoblins. The Browntooth clan, that they rejoiced and took the feast that had been meant for the hobgoblins and instead gave it to their liberators. And joining the evening's festivities, retold the story of how the group had found Droop, how they had made their way back to Cragmaw Keep, saved everybody there, and then from Cragmaw Keep traveled to Browntooth Village, and their likenesses of this group were painted on the story rock of the goblin tribe. And so the goblins, glad to have their village back, cleared it out of the bodies and kept watch for the night as our adventurers got a full night's rest. And that is where everyone finds themselves now waking up in the morning. The sun's already a little bit up. You see, you can hear, technically you're inside. Everybody's inside the tent here. You can hear some of the bustle outside and see light coming in through the tent flap. What would you like to do?
Was Gundren here with us?
Yes, he was. Good call. Thank you.
I'll have been out by the water, just meditating since I.
Okay. Yeah, because you technically don't need to sleep, so you've been out on the dock, and you had your 4-hour trance for a while, and just sort of peacefully waited out there, the waves lapping, and the moon rising. It was very peaceful. You could see over this sort of large pond that's formed with a river flowing in one end and flowing out the other. And you see across the lake the trees silhouetted by the moonlight, and just a very peaceful, a nature scene that sort of reminds you of long lost days back home.
I want to go to try to find Droop, actually, if I can find him doing whatever. I'm assuming that they're all up.
Yeah, there's plenty of goblin activity going around, and as you sort of leave the dock, that there's some pulling nets out towards the water, and there's little dinghies that are attached to the side of the dock that they're going to go and prep for the day and go fishing out in their Browntooth Pond. And so you come into town and or into the village, and you find sort of Droop sitting next to Garp, and the two of them are sort of, let's say, right here. We'll label them with purple, Droop and Garp. And so you see that they're sort of sitting by this fire, and other goblins will sort of come up to them, say something, and then goblin, and they'll say something back, and then the one who came up will go away and sort of go to a task. You sort of get a sense that they're coming to these two for direction.
As I walk up, I just say, "Are you all settled in? Does it feel good to be back home?"
It has been a long while since we have been back home. With both the tribe shaman and our chieftain gone, the others are looking to us to fill those places. That we did not expect to be taking on this responsibility so quickly, but our tribe needs some leadership here, and apparently they sort of whispers you, they think I did something brave, I'm not sure, but they're looking to me for now.
Well, I couldn't agree more. That's actually what I wanted to come over and talk to you about. You showed great bravery in Cragmaw Castle, and you wanted to fight with us, even though these hobgoblins are much larger than you. I couldn't imagine a better leader for your tribe.
That goblins are green, but you imagine you see Droop blush. He sort of changes a slightly different shade of green. And he sort of looks to Garp, and Garp, with his milky eye, sort of looks to him and just sort of nods and says, "You may have been the younger son of your father, but with both your father and your brother gone, the tribe will look to you. That is why the Kragmaws took you far away, because if you were here, the tribe had hope of having a new leader. But now you have returned against all odds, and I believe it is your responsibility to rise up and help us. That even though we have been imprisoned and enslaved for a year, we were free much longer. This was our forest and our pond much longer than that. There will be time to adjust, but we will get back to our old life." And the rest of you in the tent, you can sort of hear, there's been some goblin voices outside, but you're hearing common spoken out for the first time. You can sort of hear Elryan talking to Droop and Garp. You haven't quite caught what has fully been said, but you can hear him.
Guess I'm gonna mosey on out and check on my best friend over here. Join the party.
As Droop sort of looks from Elryan to Thonar, says, "Ah, yes, shirtless one. You were the first to find me. I'm glad you have slept well. Or I hope you have slept well."
I couldn't have asked for a better place to sleep, a better time, knowing that my dear friends, the Brown Tooth, are able to live free again.
But Droop says, "Thank you," and Garp sort of squints at you for a bit, and then says, "That necklace suits you."
I
And
will wear it with pride.
and that you should. You also notice that that Garp now has a similar necklace, much fewer tokens on it, just sort of like one or two. You think that this was made just recently and given to him.
I see.
Also,
you're,
go ahead.
I see you're trying to copy my fashion statement there.
Garp chuckles a bit and says, "It was not your fashion. It was handed to you, as that belonged to our previous shaman, and he added to it over time, and it's now the others are looking to me to take that place, and this is the start of my own." And sort of grasps his own necklace.
Do each of the ornaments on the necklace stand for something?
That with every noteworthy accomplishment that takes place in the tribe as the shaman oversees it, there is a token that is added to the necklace that my watch has only begun, and I may not have many years ahead of me, but I will do my best to take care of the Brown Tooths.
Well, if they're in your hands, then they have nothing to worry about.
That he nods slowly and says, "This forest has grown more wild in the last year, but I think we have grown stronger. I think we shall be able to meet its wildness and perhaps rein it back a bit. We are small goblins and a small tribe. We only need to cultivate a small area for ourselves, but I think we shall be able to do it.
I couldn't agree more. The brown tooths seem to be full of surprises.
I look at him and I say, for one without much sight, you have great vision. And I kind of pat him on the back.
But he reaches a little shaky goblin hand up to you. And
Shake it.
says, "Well met, Thonar Goblin's Bane. Or Hobgoblin's Bane," he says.
Hobgoblin's Bane. I like the sound of that.
As you should.
Better than your real name.
Oh.
All right. So that as you see that you've been talking, but there's like a couple brown tooths who have been patiently waiting to talk to Droop and Garp.
Well, we won't hold you any further, but if you ever need help, don't be afraid to come find us or send word.
That Droop sort of thinks. He says, "Hey, thank you. That with the Kragma's gone, as well as those nasty red brands, that I think that we can find more peace in this area. That we are hunters and trappers, and we do not have the resources to fashion great tools like the Pinkskins have. Perhaps we may be able to bring some of our furs as trade to the city where you found me. Would you be able to send that message for us?"
Absolutely. Except I don't remember what you just said.
The brown tooths, they're hunters and trappers, and Droop was saying that he essentially says, "Would you tell the Pinkskins and Phandalin we would be willing to trade with them?"
Oh, absolutely.
So because taking care of the Kragmaw and the red brands, that they might want to sort of go there, because the goblins, they can't fashion many tools themselves. They don't have forges. They don't have ore to harvest and shape. So they might sort of trade some of the furs and such that they have. It is a few day journey, and as we said, the forest has grown wild, so we may not visit often, but we would hope to be welcome there.
I'm gonna ask. I know we told them that we weren't gonna bother them. I was gonna ask a real quick question if they know of a land called Coneyberry.
That one of the ones actually who's waiting behind you says, "Coneyberry? It's to the east. It's an old Pinkskin village. No people there, just buildings."
Have you heard of any strange ghosts or sightings in the area?
As you say, it goes, "Whoop!" The white floaty woman.
So you know of the Banshee.
She jumps out and goes, "Boo!" and we run away.
Well, okay. I guess that is enough information. Thank you for confirming my suspicions, young one.
She's in the forest, not in the village.
In the forest. Okay. How far east is that from here?
Just a second.
What's the name of that place?
Coneyberry?
Oh, Connie.
Or Coneyberry. It doesn't have pronunciations.
Yeah, I know.
DM's guide. That's not the map I want.
It's just a banshee there.
That I think what Thonar's getting at is, in town, there was a Sister Garail, a cleric who lived in the town, who had been tasked with contacting the Banshee and trying to get some information out of it. and that was
Oh,
near
yeah.
Connieberry in the east. That
How do you remember that, Nate?
Yeah.
I have notes.
Yeah. Trying to do some too.
and but
Smart.
the little goblin will say, about maybe a day and a half, 2 days travel to the east.
All right. Thank you, dear friend.
Yes, thank you, Savior, of the Brown Tooths. One of many, but you shirtless one. And he points to the story tree with your likeness flexing like this. Yes, sir.
Remember me well, and remember the hairs on my chest. For they... I don't know.
He sort of squints at you. You get a sense that he knows some basic common, but what you're trying to say is a little lost on him. He's like, uh-huh, yeah. And so while you've been sort of chatting with that one, the other one spoke to Garp for a little bit. Garp spoke back to him, and he left. And so the other one says, if I may, and sort of goes up to Droop, says something in Goblin. And then Droop says something back in Goblin, and the other one nods his head and goes over and helps the other fishermen that are readying for the day.
Oh. I have my pencil.
And then, since I control half the party currently, that Salazar, Cathod, and Slain have just been sort of listening in on the exchange between you guys and Droop, and sort of giving their consent that yes, they'll try and help Phandalin understand that it was the Cragmaws that were up to it, and that there are the Brown Tooths who would like to start trade, potentially with Phandalin.
So I guess I'll have been talking to Gundren over here in the tent.
Sure.
I just want to ask him if he thinks that he'll have some work for us to either help defend or figure out what's going on with this map he's got.
Well, the map, I was just keeping that safe for myself until me and my brothers had established our claim and gotten the resources to start excavating the cave. That was going to be for workers that we would hire. We were trying to keep it a secret until now. But I know the location as do my brothers. I'm very eager to get back. But I don't know if you know, but the town had been up to very good. There are these bandits, the Red Brands, who were causing all sorts of trouble. We tried to lay low, keep out of their sight. But
Yeah, we took care of them.
Oh, so you got them to leave?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
But he sort of takes a moment, nods his head. He's like, I've seen what your group can do. I believe it. Good, right nasty lot they were.
I just give him a big smile.
Says, you're up to the task. I would love for you to join me to clear out the cave. That I don't know what this black spider fellow has been up to, but I think he's had his eye on me and my brothers.
Well, I think we're definitely up for something like that. I know I can't speak for the rest of the group, but I sure am.
Excellent. You've been so much help already. You saved my life. That if you'd be willing to help us reclaim the cave, once we get it up and running again, it's going to be quite profitable. I would be willing to give your group 10% share in our business as we started there.
That sounds fairly reasonable to me.
I think it's a worthy price for securing such an ancient and special resource. But as I said, that I knew King Grohl had talking about sending resources south. Take Phandalin to claim as their own. So I knew these nasty buggers, and he sort of gestures in the direction that the funeral pyre had been made. These nasty buggers, they were going to be headed to town. I didn't want my brothers have to deal with them, but I'm glad you lot were here to take care of them before they got there. That said, I'm very eager to get back. Who knows what else has been happening there.
You have a good point. Let's see if the rest of the group has made plans.
Alright.
So I'll go out of the tent to see what everyone else is up to.
Okay, and you can see that both of these conversations have been happening like sort of simultaneously. So as the group had been talking to Droop and Garp, and you guys sort of had established that you're gonna that the Brown Tooths are gonna reclaim the land and hopefully start maybe trading pelts and goods with Phandalin. That as you come to that agreement, as well as found out where Connieberry was and about the white woman in Hugo Boo. That you finished this conversation with Gundren. So Elrine and Thonar and the others, you guys see Bonner and Gundren exit the tent and join you.
We were just talking to the Chief Droop over here. Here's who'll be leading the village now.
Ah, good for that little fella. He deserves it.
You see him turn, a brighter shade of green as he says, "You do me much honor. Hopefully, I will be up to the task."
I think you'll be fine. As for the rest of you with not so green skin, unless anyone has better plans, I say it would be best for us to get Gundren back to Phandalin as soon as we can.
That sounds like a good plan. I believe we also need to check up on our old friend Glassstaff, make sure he's comfortable in his
Yeah, I forgot he was still
in
alive.
his new residence, and also maybe pick up some money for that.
Yep, you do
Yeah.
have bounties waiting for both the elimination of the Kragmaws and the capture of Glassstaff.
If he
Yeah,
actually made it back.
Yeah, we should go find out.
Aye.
All right. And the proper notes.
Proper notes. Okay.
Um,
Notes proper.
Okay, gosh, got it. Oh no, that's not it. I'm trying to find the one with the notes about the rewards for those particular things. Anyway, I can look it up once we get to Phandalin. All right, so are you guys planning to head out?
Yes.
Yeah.
After saying a proper farewell to our goblin friends.
And on my way out, I'm gonna ask Droop if he still has his whistle that I had given him that we had communicated with.
That he actually pulls it and goes with it.
I'm gonna tell him, no matter where he is, I'm just a whistle in the wind away, and I'm gonna give him a big old hug.
He actually hops up into your arms and grabs around you. He sort of shakes, and the other goblins have gathered around, and they sort of cheer.
I'm gonna cry. Bonner
Okay,
doesn't cry, and he starts walking away.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, saving throw. Wisdom. Oh, I forgot I had this.
Yeah, you're able to keep it together. There's sort of that tightness in the back of your throat, but you don't let any of it show on your face.
Stay strong, little buddy. Lead your people well.
And Brown Tooth's strength to you as well. You always have a welcome place at our hearth.
I
So-
run away because I don't want to see them.
Okay. And so the goblins have sort of gathered from the morning chores to sort of wave you off. And so as you exit, there's a big old group of them just waving, and Droop and Garp and the other goblins that you guys had rescued from the camp are all sort of from the castle are gathered together, and you head off into the woods.
Into the
Having-
woods.
Yes, having saved the brown tooths, eliminated the Kragmaws and their ambitions, and now, oh, you got the heart. Now you're headed off into the forest.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the forest.
So for a while, you guys follow the path that you had followed into Brown Tooth Village, and that you find the place where you had first roasted and then frozen a bunch of hobgoblins. You sort of see the remnants on the ground, some scorch marks of that, and the corpses. They're smelling none too pretty right about now, and that's been a few miles into it. But then you sort of get into the forest proper, sort of back into the area of where it's a bit darker. The canopies coming over, you can't see the sunlight. This is sort of the wilder area that you had passed through. Do we have a marching order? Actually, since there's just 3 of you, we won't bother being too specific with that. But we'll say that you guys are moving through.
I don't mind being right out in front of the group.
Okay. Anybody who wants to lead, go ahead and make me a survival check to try and navigate your way through the woods. And that I'm going to assume, Elrine, that you're definitely going to be on top of that, so you can go ahead and roll as well.
I have, what is it? I get double my.
Double your
My
proficiency, so you get to add 2 more to whatever you roll,
Okay.
because this is your favorite terrain.
I'll just do this because it's easier. Got
so
it.
cool.
9 plus 2, 11. So that you think that you had followed the path as far as it sort of went, and then just sort of pittered off into the forest into different various hunting and game trails, and you sort of made your way into the thicker section of the forest. You think that you're sort of on the trail that you had, or sort of on the path that you had made your way through to here, but you're not entirely sure that you're heading in the direction. You're heading in the direction of the Cragmaw Keep, Cragmaw Castle, but you're not entirely sure if you're perfectly on target. So,
It's definitely this way, guys. It's definitely this way.
all right. Bonar, roll me a d12.
Uh,
Oh.
Okay, you're fine. That you're traveling through, a scary forest. That there's a chance of encountering something. So that, but no, the 2 doesn't get you anything. So that you remember that it didn't take you like a full day, but most of the day to get from the Cragmaw Castle to Brown Tooth Village, and
Okay.
plus you also had the goblins leading you. Trying to find your way back, it takes a bit longer. So you're just about arriving to where the castle was as the sun is starting to dip below the horizon. You were able to make your way through the forest. No particular troubles. You didn't get too off course. You sort of had to realize, oh, we're a little too far north, and then track down to the castle. But you find it there as the sun's sort of getting towards dusk.
I don't know if it matters at all. I just remember this, but we actually can't get lost because of my thing.
All right, so
So
we're backwards. Yeah, that Bonar, you're pretty sure you've got a direction on it, but every now and again, Elrine will just sort of veer a little bit direction on the path. Not enough to draw attention to it, but enough where you sort of like keep in line with him and move with him. He helps you keep on track. So you guys actually arrive at the castle probably about like 5 at night. Now that there's probably a few more hours of light left in the day.
Gonna say I knew my thing was more useful than that. But
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ranger in general just sort of gets double proficiency, but I think Outlander.
yeah. Well, no. That's
It's-
that's favorite terrain.
Oh, you can't get lost in your favorite.
I can get if it's anywhere other than the forest.
Okay,
we get
you
lost,
got it.
but-
You got it. There's a lot of things to keep track of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, there's the thing. Anyway, all right.
Do we know how far from here it is back to Phandalin?
I think it was like 3 days or 2 days.
That it took you 1 day on the trail to get to the edge of the forest, then about sort of half a day to get from the edge of the forest to Cragmaw Castle, and then about a full day to get, and then, actually no, it was yeah, okay, it was like half a day if you had just traveled from the edge of the forest to Cragmaw Castle, but there was some fighting and some observation of the castle and waiting to assault it. So that your first day away from Phandalin was traveling. You camped. That's when you met Elrine. Second day was making your way to the castle and taking it. Third day, traveling to the Browntooth village. Fourth day, coming back. So you probably have about a day and a half travel to Phandalin.
Alright, well, should you guys think we should camp out in the castle tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, should we scope it out just to see if anything's arrived in the day that we were gone?
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
So who's gonna go in?
Someone who's quiet.
Elena volunteers. We'll go scope it out. I mean, if I get her killed, then at least the player has the opportunity to inflict the most consequences on me. Alright, so Elena's just gonna sneak on in there. And so you see Selena say, just sort of very quietly, I'll do it. And without another word, she just into the bushes, and it's uncanny. She like walks in one side of the bush, but you don't see her come out the other, and she's just gone. Right. So that Thonar, you've got really good eyesight, especially with Talon, that you can sort of see a small Selena-sized shadow creep in one of the doors, and you wait. You wait. About 10 minutes later, out the same door, the same shadow comes, and then Selena steps out of the bush as if she had just stepped in. She says, "Coast is clear. Nothing seems to have been disturbed."
Alright.
Oh.
Well, let's
Just head in.
Okay. So you guys, I don't actually have the map for Cragmaw Castle here, but you guys head on in, and what room would you like to set up in?
Maybe that like armory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
Arrow
thinking.
slots. How about that?
Armory sounds good. All right.
That's in the top left, right?
Yeah, the top left, and it'll be a little cramped, but you guys are used to sort of making making the best of a situation. So you can find some sort of some of the less stinky bed rolls from the previous inhabitants, as well as move out some of the old supplies and weapon racks that are now empty or with sort of junk weapons to make some more room in there. And that Thonar, you actually have. You had a key. I think you had a key to the place.
I had a key. I don't know if it was to.
You had a red brand key, but I think amongst you would have found. Well, I'm just gonna say that you're able to actually just lock the barracks door overnight. It's pretty dark in there. It's pretty cramped. There's just a little bit of moonlight coming in through the arrow slits in the side of the wall.
Can I, before it got super dark, can I go and, like, forage, try to get some food? I'm assuming we have to eat at
Sure.
some point.
All right, go ahead and roll me a survival check. And that as a ranger, you're guaranteed to find some. This is just determining how much. That's a dex. That's a stealth check.
Oh, why did you stealth attack? Sorry. And I think I get, for anything, I get twice as much as I would normally get.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're able to go out and you find some berries. You find a wild apple tree. You're actually able to take down a couple wild turkeys, and you bring it back, and it's enough to feed the group for the night.
Cool.
So you'll have to take a little bit of time of field dress the turkeys and cook them somehow, but they would provide food for the group for the night.
Alright, I do that.
Okay, so you're gonna go out to the kitchen area and sort of fire up the.
kitchen.
Yeah, there's a kitchen
Yeah, Alright, cover
with some tables. One that was burned. You know that
With the poop bomb.
with a poop bomb, but
Probably smells
goblins
great
sort
in
of-
here.
the goblins got rid of some of the. You notice that the brown tooths were a bit more cleanly than the cragmaws, and so once they had taken the castle, they had sort of gotten rid of the bodies and rid of a fair bit of the refuse in there. And so
have
yeah,
a
you-
roll for cooking.
for cooking,
There's-
what skill should I make you do?
There's no cooking, man.
Religion.
Yeah, I would say since you're used to sort of cooking game meat and making meals in the wilderness, you could
History.
roll survival.
Alright.
Sleight of hand.
Not perhaps for cutting it up nice and fancy. Okay, yeah, you have no trouble. You sort of you're able to quickly defeather the turkeys and get out all the organs, and it. Usually, you're sort of more about the utility of getting the meat ready, so it's not raw. But you actually find a few spices here and there and sort of add them in. You're kind of proud of how they came out, and they're nice and moist on the inside.
Not bad.
Not bad. All right. So I take it you go back to the group where everybody's waiting there.
Yep. And I just tell them, got some food ready in the kitchen. Y'all.
Bonner's a vegan.
I'm gonna. Can I scrounge around to see if there's any ale in the castle?
Sure. Go ahead. Make me an investigation check with your
Investigate.
very high barbarian intelligence. Okay.
Super high.
You scrounge around. I think you find some ale that it's been opened, so it's a little flat, and it's not the greatest, but it still has the desired effect. So it's about 3/4 of a cask of ale.
I'll split it with my brother. I'll say not enough to get the job done, so might as well share the love.
Yep. All right. So you guys, you actually have a nice meal with some cooked wild turkey and some berries, some apples, and a bit of, flat but still decent ale. It's
I
also
guess
it's
I'll
not
share that
too
with
cold, but it's a good reminder of what a nice cold ale will be once you get back to town. All right.
All right.
Delicious.
But you guys eat this in the kitchen, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got room, you've got utensils, you sort of had cleaned off some of the dirtier ones from the goblins' use. And it's not in any way a gourmet meal, but it's much nicer than any of the sort of field rations you've been munching for the past couple days. Though the feast in the Brown Tooth camp was actually pretty good. This isn't quite as good as that, but it's still good. All right. It's sort of, with Elrond going out and hunting for a few hours and coming back and cooking. It's getting pretty late now. It's probably like 9:30 at night.
Yes. I'm gonna head off to bed.
Okay, yeah. And
After
so
after
the
a
group will
workout.
join you guys. All right. That I'll just say amongst the six of you, you're able to sort of set a watch and rotate through it. And given that you're in the castle with the door locked, all sleeping and being quiet, the night passes without event. That again, it's sort of a crisp night. That the moon is sort of waxing a little, so it's a little smaller. So, but it does sort of shine through the arrow slits. Selena and Elrond, they sort of swap off their trances because it takes 4 hours each. So one trance is while the other's awake, and they swap so that at least somebody's awake for in case if they hear anything. But other than the normal nighttime sounds, there's not much to be heard. As you could hear some wolves howling in the distance, but nothing passes close to the castle. Right, so the sun is sort of coming up over the horizon, making a nice sort of red glow coming in the window, and you hear the morning birds starting to chirp.
I hear him.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's real.
My immersion level is very high.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wake up.
Okay. So,
Wake up and start getting ready to head out because I don't see any point in hanging around here.
Okay. Anybody else have anything particular they want to do with the castle? It's kind of been cleaned out already, and the bodies have been taken away, and it's pretty abandoned.
I want to go to the bathroom in the king's hall.
Okay, so you find your way to King Grohl's chamber, and you find the old bathroom that you can tell that it was meant for the original builders of the castle, but King Grohl hadn't made use of it. And there's sort of this ramshackle, well, not ramshackle, but sort of a bit cracked and worn down privy that's there.
Guess I will relieve myself.
You do so, sort of leaving your mark, sort of metaphorically and literally, on the castle. You sure show the specter of King Grohl that you are the superior man here.
Does he? I want to look at his bed. Like, are his linens nice?
It's mostly like animal furs and animal hides. That you can. It's not any of the original like bed linens from previous inhabitants. It's definitely just hobgoblin, bugbear, goblin sort of bedding, put on top of the old wooden bed frame.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of sneer to myself and say, "What kind of king lives like this?" And then I'm done. I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. You guys, you gather your stuff and you head on out back onto the path that you had followed into Cragmaw Castle. So you leave in the morning. It takes you till about noon before you break out the edge of the forest. That this was a much lighter part of the forest that you could actually see, sunlight coming through. It wasn't the deep, dense one you had to pass through to get to the Brown-Tooth Village. The Thonar, roll me a d12.
Roll me. Yeah.
Okay. That it actually seems very pleasant. That the birds are singing sweetly. That you see a family of squirrels playing in one of the trees, and they sort of stop look at you, and then go back to chittering. And it's actually a quite peaceful walk. That you follow the path that you had gone up towards the castle this time. Do you want to go back up towards where the harpies were, or take the lower path? Because it had split, gone up on the cliffs, and one was below, and then they had come back together.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Let's take
I mean,
the lower path.
Yeah, I'd like to get a feel for the area.
Because we didn't kill all the harpies.
Yeah.
Oh,
True.
that's also true.
Unless you guys want to go kill some harpies.
Nah.
All right.
Let's take the lower path.
Okay. So you take the lower path up to and you go along it for a bit. I'm gonna say, since you'd be the most skilled at it, Elrine, make me a survival check. Okay. You get to a spot on the path where it sort of opens up a bit, and you're not entirely sure what creature made them, but there's sort of these big footprints, not going along the path, but just across at one point, across it down into the woods. And that these are not per se animal tracks. It's not something that moves on four legs. It's definitely bipedal.
So some odd tracks. I'm not sure what made these.
Is it a human?
I don't know.
Too big for human.
Too big. A little too big. But it doesn't appear
What
to be an
about
animal
a
either.
big human?
I suppose that's a possibility.
But go ahead. Anybody wants to make me just an intelligence check to sort of gauge how big are these footprints.
How big are these feet? Wait, how do I
Intelligent.
roll?
That
Oh,
if you
just
have nature, you can roll nature.
Oh, okay.
That there's the unskilled checks that are down below all the other checks.
I'm proficient in nature.
Oh, right.
You are. Okay, Elrine, that after sort of trying to figure out what the tracks were saying, you sort of take a moment to examine the track itself, and this is far bigger than even the biggest human you've ever seen would be able to make. That we're this is probably some sort of small giant. Not huge.
Well, that's an
but
oxymoron.
it's on it. Giants have a big range, up to completely Attack on Titan level, as well as just like as tall as a 2-story house level. You're thinking this is the smaller end of the giant scale.
Hmm.
As well as Thonar, you'd notice that actually everybody would notice that these are much bigger than a human could make, but Elrine and Thonar are the only ones who think, oh, giant.
I doubt it to be a human. It's likely someone several times the size of you.
Like an elephant.
Sure. Yes. Just like that.
Yeah, what's an elephant doing in the woods?
Well, it's probably not exactly an elephant, but I think it's something that walks on 2 legs, not 4.
Ah,
A circus elephant.
that would be difficult for most elephants.
Maybe we're dealing with a highly intelligent elephant, Bonner.
Or maybe
Nothing.
maybe he's not intelligent enough to use both of his.
Use all the
Yeah,
legs.
all-
I think you're onto something.
Yes.
Ugh.
Do the footprints look violent?
No, they do not look like the creature was stomping violent.
They look like they're looking for trouble.
That they are shaped like a human foot, but sort of elongated, with claw marks on the toes.
So are they going both directions, or is it just one direction?
One direction, away from, sort of you can look up and see where the Harpy Cliffs are, and they're going away from the Harpy Cliffs into the woods.
Well, Suppose we have two options. We could try to find this intelligent elephant, or we could continue on our way.
Kira, not to put too much of a wrinkle in these new plans, but I really was hoping to get home, or at least back to my brothers. In here, Gundren, speaking up from behind you.
You know what, Gundren? This is a two-footed walking elephant. It could be Dumbo.
It's not
For
every
all
day
we
you
know.
see an intelligent elephant such as this in the forest of all places. I mean,
It's gotta be worth some kind of money.
I'll ask Gundren if he would mind if we took just an extra day to look for this elephant.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Yeah.
So he sits there for a moment, strokes his beard, says, well, whatever made these might have a cave and keep things of value in it.
Well,
It
that's
might
what
be
I'm
worth
talking
checking
about.
it out. That
They
I'd like to get home. Let's say this. We spend maybe 4 hours tracking this thing, see where we are, and then reevaluate. We catch it, great. If we're close to catching it, maybe we go after it. If it's a long ways off, how about we head back?
sounds like a plan to me.
And you know that the direction this is going, it's not like back into the forest. It's sort of that this is the way back towards Phandalin out of the forest, and diagonally this is the way sort of where the tracks are going. So they're both sort of heading for the edge of the forest, but it puts you out of the forest a little farther away from Phandalin. So it's not in the opposite direction, but it would add a little travel time.
Let's do it.
Okay. So this will be fun.
I make elephant noises.
Okay. Ryan, go ahead and make a survival check to track this. And I'll say since you're not just stumbling upon this, you're taking your time. I'll go ahead and give you advantage with it.
okay. Oops, that's just one.
Wait, that doesn't roll with advantage already? Oh, do you have it taken off of that? There's an option in...
Yeah, if you click the little cog.
Okay.
I had it because before I didn't have it, so it's pain to roll.
Okay, that's fine.
I didn't realize that saved it.
Yeah.
Pancho, did you like my elephant noise?
It's pretty good.
He's looking at me like, what's going on?
Oh.
man?"
And then I think I get the +2 for
Do that, yeah.
for tracking something. Let me check. When tracking other creatures, also in their exact number, size, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Okay, so there's one creature. It is large, and this is probably about 2 days ago. Now, if you remember when you guys were sort of looking down from the cliffs,
Oh, right.
you saw a large bipedal green creature walk across that clearing that you just found the tracks at.
So it's a green elephant.
Ranger and Stradian, these you dwarves are so perceptive. Forest.
Just a second here.
Inspiring, really. Are these
DM's making a map. DM's making a map.
It's a map, it's a map, it's a map. It's a map.
Wow, I typed in map song on Google and I was surprised that Dora the Explorer didn't show up first.
Okay, so just a second. I'm
It's
actually
the
going
second
to add
Google.
dynamic lighting.
Oh,
Ooh.
And
Sounded like some sort of weird robot.
Close enough.
Wait, what happened?
I heard something. And it sounded like a weird robot.
Try and play the map song through my headset.
Uh,
Map song is pretty good, honestly. Like,
Man, that's my jam.
pretty smooth.
I just draw a couple things here, and then we should
Look
be
at
good.
the comments. I don't understand.
Map
like
hype?
map hype.
Yeah.
Map hype.
that's what we
My
should.
boys.
That's what we should yell every time. We should have a map hype song. And it should be 5 minutes long, and that way Jacob knows how long he has to draw the map.
Nice. Okay.
So then it turns into a game. And we can give him DM points based on how awesome the map is he'd made in 5 minutes.
I think you'll be pleasantly happy. Okay, so let's see. Do we have...
It's gonna be better than any of the pre-made maps. Map hype. Map hype.
Okay. So that you guys find yourselves. Elrond, you lead the group, and it's actually once you've gotten used to what these tracks look like, you're actually able to follow them quite well in the forest.
So they're almost
And
as if
it's
they
a-
were giant or something.
I tried to get Barnard to track them, and so I try to make it feel like he's tracking them because he's the elephant expert.
Okay. And you sort of point out, oh, that this must be where the elephant broke this branch, or see how tall it is.
Very
know,
sarcastically.
Sort of some brushing up against the trees with the bark is rubbed off. Like, Bonner, you are right. Totally an elephant.
If you smell that, that's elephant right there for sure.
Oh yes, yes.
So it's actually not too long. It's actually about in an hour and a half. You've tracked these trails, and you can see that there's gotten. It's not quite as tall as the Harpy Cliff area, but sort of some mountains, and the tracks lead into a cave that's in this hillside.
Looks spooky.
I didn't know elephants.
It's an elephant. Must be an elephant nest in there.
Ah.
But what do you think? You're the expert.
That smells a little different than elephant.
So that there's you can sort of see this cave. You're about maybe 40 feet off, where in the tree line. There's still trees sort of around and leading up to it. There's not like a clearing or anything, but you're in a spot where you can sort of get a line of sight on this cave. That the entrance to it is it's actually pretty big. It's like 20 feet tall.
How
And sort of
wide is the entrance
It's
to the
it's
cave?
almost like a 20-foot tall like half circle. That's about
Okay.
When we s-
actually it's more like 15 feet wide, 20 feet tall.
when we saw him before, it was daylight out, right?
We saw before it was daylight out. Now it's probably like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I don't like going underground. That's more of your people's thing.
Does it look like the cave is really deep?
From this angle, you cannot tell.
We could tie a rope across the cave entrance
No,
and then
I have a bag of ball bearings that you can put on the ground. It's a 10-foot square, and if something travels over it, they have to. It's a DC 10 dexterity saving throw, otherwise they fall over.
what is that?
It's a bag of ball bearings.
Okay. That could work. How do we want to entice him to come out? Or it? Or them? Can we?
Make
Is
some
there like a lot of
noise?
tracks all around the cave?
As you've gotten closer here, that Elryan, go ahead and roll me a survival check to sort of gauge what it looks like near the entrance. You've tracked this particular set.
There's definitely a guy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the tracks definitely lead towards there. You also notice that sort of the leaves and the smaller plants around the entrance are much packed down. It's just like dirt, as if it's a well-worn path in and out. You can't tell how many different tracks go through there, but it's definitely worn.
Mm,
And it's like, well, we found it. Are we gonna go and find out?
I think we should set a trap. Maybe somebody can pretend to play dead outside or like yell
You just
and
yell,
have
"Ah, look at all this fresh meat and money I have."
Does Cathod have any like illusion cantrips or spells or anything?
Let me see.
Make it look
What are
like
your cantrips?
Now, guys,
elephant food.
I do have a shady past, but do we know if this thing is evil? Or are we just gonna murder it no matter
Okay.
what?
So Cathod actually has the light cantrip, as
Oh,
well as he
light.
suggests he has the mage hand cantrip. So what he could do is actually cast light on something like a small rock or a twig or something, and then use his mage hand to hold it up to 30 feet in front of him.
Oh, we could look in the cave that way, I suppose.
He could toss it in the cave.
He could.
wait. So he can hold an object 30
He can
feet.
he can cast light on the object, and essentially use his mage hand to, rather than having to hold it in his hand as a torch, he could hold it 30 feet in front of him, just floating it in the air, so he wouldn't have to, like, essentially put a beacon on your group as you're walking.
Is it-
That
oh,
makes sense. So the light is in front of us and not with
And
us.
not illuminating the group.
Okay.
As well, if something sees anything, it's going to see the object first and not the group.
I'm
So
gonna
going
su-
around corners or whatever.
I'm gonna suggest that we capture a bird and then we either kill the bird or keep the bird alive even and cast the light on that and then he puts the bird inside the cave.
Okay.
Uh,
He's
what if we just like cast light on like a Bloodstep and then he'd have this cool glowing sword, and it would like blind him maybe, 'cause if he's used to living in the dark.
Well, we
He
saw him
was
out.
just outside.
Yeah, in the
No, that was a
daytime.
couple of days ago. I know, but if he's in the cave,
That's
like if he
true.
lives in the cave, his eyes will be used to the dark. So if you just like blind him real quick, he's not gonna want to have really bright light coming in.
Cathod will tell you that his light spell will make some light, but it's not enough to blind anything really. It's not that powerful. It's just sort of
Oh,
it would be similar to a torch, but he doesn't need to provide the materials for a torch to cast it.
Sure.
A lot of good that garbage magic does us.
I'll sort of sneer at you and say, "Don't think you have any other suggestions, dwarf."
Nope.
We could
But
There's
I've
a-
never.
we could chop down a tree that will fall right at the front of the cave.
Then we wait a year
With
for
the
him to starve
body
and die,
of
and
a
then we'll come
raccoon
back.
and the head of a porcupine.
I've never seen two dwarves so afraid to go into a cave.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go up and look into the cave.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
I can see like 60 feet.
I've
in
got
front
that.
with
Yeah, I
dark
got
vision.
dark vision.
Oh, and I
Actually,
have-
Cathad, light up this. I pick up a rock, and I say, light up this rock, and I'll go up to the cave and throw it in.
I
Okay.
also so how would because I have dark vision and I have whatever this thing is called, Talon.
Alan, yeah, that your dark vision allows you to see in dim light as if it were bright light, and then darkness as if it were dim light. Now,
Okay.
in dim light, you would have disadvantage on perception checks. Because you have Talon, that disadvantage would cancel out, and with the advantage of Talon, and you just have a flat check in pure darkness for perception checks.
For 60 feet.
Mhm.
I'll tell him that I don't know if we need the light. I can just try and creep through and look
Will
around.
it
And
use up
honestly-
his spell slot if he does that?
No, it's a cantrip for the.
Okay, then yeah, just have him
for
light
light.
up the rock then.
Okay.
Just-
You're gonna light up a rock. You have it in your hand, and you can sort of cover it with both hands and snuff out the light if you want, and then sort of throw it in and it'll light up. Okay.
I've got it.
So, Honor, you go up to the cave and you throw in a token, the rock. It lands right about there. You can sort of see some entrance to the cave, and in the distance, just an ever so faint glow on the ground that sort of looks like some embers.
I see nothing.
It's just black.
Do we need to put our tokens on?
Or is it just a dynamic light, you think?
I think I need to change a setting here to make sure that all players see light. Okay, yeah, here, I'll put your token on just so that you can, it's again, this is the first time trying with it.
Oh,
Can you see now?
No.
Can everybody
No, not
see?
yet.
I can see me, and
Wait, I don't even.
Light
No, I
that's
don't see anything.
Okay.
Oh,
I-
when I place myself, I can see light.
Oh,
Yes.
So
Okay, I just changed it so I think
Where should we
Greg's
place
should show up for everybody.
I don't see it.
oh, now I do.
I see Nate.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't
Okay.
placed.
I will place your tokens on, but you guys are technically not in
Okay,
here
there we go.
quite yet.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, and then Selene and the others will be around as well. Elren's already there. Thod. And Salazar.
Pipe.
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 So I put the other tokens in the corner where it's not going to show anything. But you guys can sort of see. And you threw the token, or the stone right about there. Can you see?
Yeah.
Oh, stone hype.
Yeah.
So
All right. So you can see what you see. Would you like to go in further?
Yeah. All right. I want to. Do we hear anything?
Make a perception check.
Okay, I'm ready to perceive. So ready.
Okay. But neither of you get advantage of this because you sort of see what you see, but both of you can hear a faint
Is he asleep?
And sort of this deep breathing, just very slow.
I want to walk in further and pick up the stone.
Okay. Are you,
I have
so you walk on it, you can move your token. I think it should dynamically, as you drag
Yeah.
it. Yep. Alright. Did that update for you?
It did for me.
Okay.
Nothing really changed for me. I don't know if it's supposed to.
So I think
Oh yeah, I think it.
if I do that, you can see that. Again, we're sort of learning.
Yeah.
All players see light. Save. Let's see. I'm gonna make it usually. I had your token set up so that only you would see your own dark vision, but I'll have it so everybody shares the dark vision that you guys have,
I think we all have dark vision.
except for Cathod. But there's a setting to make sure that all the other players can see through your vision.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh.
You guys are off map, but I'm updating them. Okay, so you can see a bit better that there seems to be the faint glow of some embers and what looks like maybe some hides on the ground there. It's the fire is burned low. It's only emitting just a little bit of light.
Well, what do you see?
It looks like it looks like a fire, and not much else.
Want to come up here?
What?
And so
I'm
the others will be following slowly behind you. And Gundren's gonna sort of stay at the entrance of the cave.
Yeah, I'm picking up the rock,
Okay.
and I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna move up to the fire.
Okay. They can sort of see that the fire. Make a perception check. It's a cave, man. They're sort of like looking around, trying to find. There's got to be something else in here, and so you don't really pay attention too much to the state of the fire, but yeah, that there's this cave. There's a few sort of columns coming down. There's this some hide on the ground, and that's kind of what you see.
I wanna go. I wanna go kick the hide a little bit.
Okay.
While he's
I
doing.
need you to make me a. No, I'm just joking. It's just sort of some animal skins in the ground. It's a pretty big pile. It's much bigger than a bed you would ever need. So you go and you kick it, and sort of one end sort of flaps over one of the corners, but it doesn't really disturb it all too much.
Are we? Can we? Is this like? Can I like look up? Is this cave opened up, or are we? Is the ceiling like?
That the entrance was sort of about 20 feet high, and then got a bit higher. Maybe sort of varies. That the ceiling has some stalactites hanging off of it, but in general, it's probably about like 30 to 40 feet tall, up and down.
And do we see anything along the walls, or?
I'm gonna keep moving to see if this goes anywhere up here.
Okay. Make me a stealth check. Here. Wait. Who that? And you see coming around the corner a big green-skinned thing, long claws, sort of these dreadlocks of hair coming down. He's like, "Oh, you come to take my shiny!" I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Been so long, I forgot how. Oh.
Goodness, I got 3 characters to keep track of here. 4 if you include whatever the green thing is.
Pretty
The
sure
elephant.
it's Droop's cousin. Nice roll, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Nice roll, Jeff.
Oh wow. Wait, why does he get 3? And... Oh, that sucks.
Right. Wait, was it not cleared out from before?
What is the
Or
do? I mean the initiative modifier. How do you like
You had
remove
your
that
dex. You had your dex mod, right?
from? Oh, okay.
yeah, it adds your dexterity to it. Right, let me roll
and
for
then-
Selena.
You can have an initiative mod too, if you, from like a.
Yes, that he's got a. Does anybody have the alert feat?
I did it first, but then I
Okay.
ended up changing.
Uh, Right. We will say. Sending. Okay, Cathod is first up. What he's going to do is move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to right there. Then, seeing the big thing right there, he's going to go ahead and cast. Yeah, he will cast a magic missile at it. And just 3 purple darts. Bam, bam, bam. Alright, so that is 13 damage, not too shabby. So, Bonner, as this big green thing sort of starts lumbering towards you, that Cathod just sort of runs up and these 3 darts hit it in the chest, and it roars and and it takes 13 points of damage. Let me get my arcane calculator. Okay. And you sort of see that it pepper the thing in its chest, but it's still coming forward. All right, Thonar, you see Cathod just sort of ran up beside you and running, just sprout 3 purple daggers out of his hands. They go swirling around your brother and jab this thing in the chest.
Um.
I'm not sure I like this music. It pauses too long afterward.
50. Dang it. I guess I'll 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll come. Actually, I'll go here. And I'm going to pull out my crossbow.
Okay.
And. Wow, where's my crossbow? There it is. Wow.
Okay, so you go and shoot, and you're sort of fumbling with the latch, and as you're pulling it out, it just sort of goes off and goes ping off one of the walls. So you didn't even get a chance to quite aim it correctly.
I'm bit out with a weapon in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it is in my hand technically.
All right,
And that's my turn.
that's your turn. Bonar, you've seen some magic missiles swing around you and hit this thing, and then your brother sort of clatter a crossbow bolt off the wall just beside you. And this big green thing is sort of rubbing its eyes, roaring from the pain of the magic missiles in its chest, and it's coming at you. What would you like to do?
I will charge at him with Bloodstem.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make a swing. Oh, and that'll definitely hit. So you go up and you swing and you slash right across his midsection, and it opens up and you can see all this sort of black blood seeping out of the wound. You made a decent chunk.
Got him.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. So, alright, Salazar up next, so he's gonna go. He can go as 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And
Bang,
you'll
you
be
got
right there. Yep. And so he's gonna pull out his short bow, and he's gonna take a shot at it. And he pulls, and the shot, it goes and it sort of glances off the thing's shoulder, leaving a little nick, but not actually doing any real damage. Okay, and then Selena, he's going to run up behind this and hide. Actually, no, she's gonna run. She's right here. She can move 7. Yeah, she'll. Yeah, actually, that's what she'll do. She'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll get right there and hide.
I love how the dynamic lighting does like even the pillar things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And from the shadows, she is going to take a shot at the giant, green giant. He's not jolly though.
Ho ho ho.
And because she's hidden, she's going to get advantage on this. And plus, her buddy Bonar being there to attack, and she's going to sneak attack if she hits.
Sneaky sneak.
Oh yeah, and she's not set up with sneak attack. Need to go back and add in. Okay, so she goes and she pulls and she shoots, and it catches the giant sort of in the middle of the chest, and it doesn't pierce through to get any major organs, but takes a chunk out of him, or puts a chunk into him. All right, so it's okay. All right, and after that bolt sort of hits it, it's gonna roar angrily, and it is the giant's turn, and that it's gonna take, and as it sort of gets there, it sort of flexes, and you see its wounds start to close up a bit.
Oh.
And it's gonna take it's gonna have a fun time swiping at you, Bonner. So it's gonna swipe with one claw across you, and that will miss. And so it's just gonna go swipe, swipe, second swipe. That will hit. You take, as it rakes its claws across you, you take 7 slashing damage, reduced by 3 to 4.
Okay.
And then, as it's slashing, it's gonna come down and try and bite onto your shoulder. And that it sort of gets some of your shoulder pauldron and rakes away, but all it does is the teeth just scrape across the metal. It didn't actually get any of your flesh. All right, and that was that thing's turn. Elrine, you're up.
Alright. I think I can move 7.
Yep, you can move 35.
I can move 35.
So 7 spaces. As well as Bonner, you can see that this thing was sort of on a pile of some sort of goods, and you see the picture isn't quite represented, that there's a bit of glittering coins among like some old supplies and stuff down there.
Not actually a big old pile of gold.
It's not a giant pile of gold, but there is some there.
Alright,
I want to see.
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark that guy.
Okay, so he is marked.
And I'm gonna use Sharpshooter for this one.
Okay, so
-5. 18.
18, that will hit.
Alright. I remember. So I get 2d8 and a d6.
Yep,
Colossus.
and
Okay, and then 10.
yes, and
Alright.
Dex.
Oh, and Dex, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be nasty.
Not so much. Alright. I have 2 1s and a 3.
Oh,
19 total.
19 points of damage. Okay,
Could have been so
still
good.
sizable.
2 ones on the d8s.
Wow.
Feels bad.
Rigged.
Okay, and that as you hit him right in the gut, and the shaft of the arrow goes all the way, and all you see is just a little bit of fletching still sticking out, and he just and grabs the fletching, just rips it out, and blood sort of squirts out of it on a little bit onto you, Bonner. This black sticky blood.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Cathod is up. Cathod is gonna go ahead and cast Frostbite. Then he's got to make a 14 con save. Which he crits on. And so you see Cathod reach out, and there's this cold essence sort of starting to shimmer in front of the creature, and it blasts into it. It hits the skin, and it just sort of sets in for a second, and then just evaporates. That it didn't really. It might have caused a little discomfort, but it didn't really set any frostbite or anything. You don't see any damage from that blast of cold onto him. And yeah, Cathod's just gonna sit tight right there. All right, Thonar, you are up.
Alright, I'm gonna pop on over here. Oh, whoa, now I see the gold. And I'm gonna attack this beast.
Okay.
Oops, that's... Oh, that's... how do I cancel? There we go. I don't want to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I figure you're not. Okay, yeah. So you slash right into one of the legs of this thing, right in its thigh, and that's a sizable gash. All right. And so this thing, it's looking it's bleeding pretty bad, but it's not down yet. Okay.
And then... I'm gonna, like... move here. Can I, like, move here while I was...
You used up your 25 movement
you're right,
for the
you're
turn.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the beginning of your next turn, you can gladly do that.
Alright.
All right.
I'm sorry. Are we supposed to be able to see, like, have like party vision?
Yeah. Do you not?
Yeah, I don't. Just because I know
Yeah.
you said you're still figuring it out. Like, I'm assuming Cathod is somewhere down here, but I can't see him.
You
Okay.
can't see,
I
you
just
can't
the
see him
black
because
guy.
of that pillar in the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if it's supposed to be like that, or I know it said.
Here, I think I know the setting that might
And
be
like I
that.
can't see the thing from the light spell. I don't know.
Okay, here we are.
If
I
we
found
want
the
to
thing.
do it like this, that's fine. Okay, there.
Oh, there we
There
go.
it is. That was the setting. I thought it was a setting on the tokens. It's a setting on the map.
Okay.
All
There
right,
we
can
go.
everybody see now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's much better.
Not quite as immersive, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, that your Bonner, you see your brother sort of run up and swing and slash right in this thing's thigh. It sort of buckles forward a little towards you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move down here below it.
Okay.
Would that give me a advantage?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
say you get advantage from it.
Okay, and then I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
There we go.
As your brother is dashing up one side, you're dashing around it. It's sort of its attention is split, and yeah, you take a chunk out of it. Sort of leans down, and you slash up and get a big meaty chunk of his shoulder.
Bam!
Okay. Yeah, this thing's bleeding pretty darn bad. Okay. That is your turn. Salazar is gonna come up and he's gonna punch the crud out of it. So first he's gonna take a stab with his spear. Which that sort of catches a little bit of flesh, but it's really tough hide and just sort of deflects the spear. And just with spear, he's just gonna pull it out, and as he pulls out, swing up and kick it in the ribs. Make an unarmed strike. which also just thuds into the side of him. It's a hefty thud, but the creature doesn't even seem to acknowledge that he got hit. Okay, that's
I do
Salazar's
not
turn.
acknowledge your attempts to damage me.
Selena is going to go ahead and take a shot. And this arrow that, as she goes to shoot it, that the creature sort of flexes and goes, "Rah!" and that sort of moves it slightly to the side, and the arrow that was going to sort of hit it in the face just brushes past its cheek and hits the wall behind it. Then as that thing is roaring, it flexes and you see its flesh start to close up once again. So that heals back up. Oh. Okay. It's gonna take a swipe at each of the three around it. First, it's gonna take a claw attack at Thonar. And you just sort of, it claws at you, but you just sort of bat its claws away with Talon. It's going to take a swipe at your brother. Oh, no, wrong one. And again, the same sort of thing, that it claws at you. You sort of block some of it with your sword, but then a few claws rake across your armor, but it just does nothing, just leaves, it sort of makes this high screeching sound as it goes across your chest, but no damage. And then it's just going to reach down and bite at Salazar. Okay, so it goes down and it latches on to Salazar's arm and just tears away a chunk of flesh, and he takes 9 points of damage. Okay, so that is the creature's turn. Elrine, you are up.
Alright, here, I'll do the same thing. I'll try and do the sharpshooter one.
Okay.
Roll an 8. I'll use one of my luck points.
Okay.
Try it again. 17.
17 will hit.
Ooh. 3 ones. 9, 23.
Okay, nice. Alright, so 23. Oh, goodness. So that takes, that you actually get it like a bit in the neck, and you haven't hit a major artery, but it's bleeding pretty profusely, and it's sort of like clawing at the arrow and yanks it out.
Alright.
Okay, Cathod, he's gonna pull out his crossbow and take a shot. That uses more only spells, and his cantrips don't seem to do much. He's gonna take a shot. And he just sort of, like, this thing's tall, he aims high, aims a little too high, hits one of the stalactites on the ceiling, not catching the creature. Thonar, it's your go.
Alright, I am gonna do a reckless attack on this bad boy.
Okay.
Because I am one reckless fella.
Alright, I will tell you, you already have advantage because of your brother pressing from the other side, so you don't need to make that.
Okay.
If you don't want to, unless you want to be... Thonar would do this.
I'm reckless anyways.
Yeah, Thonar would do this.
It's
right.
reckless for a reason, so...
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Oh, I critted.
So, yeah, you critted, and you go, and you jump up, and you slash, and you get it right across the throat, and Istra starts, gouts of blood are coming out, and it just... it is looking incredibly rough. But you didn't get it. That Bonner, you see as your brother jumps up and slashes, and the tip of Talon just rakes right across the creature's throat, and just blood is pouring out of this thing.
I kick it in the nuts.
But you kick it in the nuts. Roll an unarmed strike.
Dang it! Oh, I have
With
advantage. Yes.
As it's grabbing its neck, it sort of stumbles down a bit, and there's a loincloth dangling right about dwarf kicking height, and you just thud it right up in the nuts, and it goes "Oh," and falls down and cracks its head on the ground. Let's see if Salazar falls out of the way, jumps out of the way. Oh yeah, that Salazar sidesteps, and this thing rolls forward, cracks its head on the ground, and then just lays motionless. And just blood continues to sort of leak out of its throat. You just nut killed a troll.
I don't even have anything clever to say after that.
That was nuts.
Okay.
Looks like you had a ball.
I
with
was
that
just
one.
gonna say that.
Well done. Well done, boys.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So you guys have killed this nasty green giant creature that was healing up. Whoever's interested in what this thing is, roll
Yeah, I definitely
nature
am
check.
curious.
Yeah.
A nature check. A. LMN.
Pretty good. I have no idea what's going on since I'm not outside.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. That would be. I wouldn't so much be nature because this isn't completely a natural creature, but I think that'd essentially be the same unless any of you have history. It would be the same intelligence roll.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Unless it has to do with stoneworks.
No. But yeah, this is actually I can roll for other people as well.
I know he's not a rock.
Cathal, let's see what does Selena know. Okay, that's better.
Wait a second.
What?
Daniel, how did you? What?
What? I
Well done.
That's the ultimate troll.
That is excellent. Okay, goodness, Salazar. So you guys are all sort of standing over it, like, oh, what could it be? And Selena just leans up against the stalactite there, and says, "It's a troll, you idiots."
Should we collect its blood?
It is seeped out all over the floor and just sort of slowly, just dripping from its neck now. And I assume you guys would have stepped back, but it is all over the floor, like gallons and gallons.
Well, let's check the treasure.
Step back. Yeah, I stepped over here.
Okay, yeah. So you see that there's this pile, and there's sort of ramshackle things like ruins of old crates with some logos on it. That there's some old clothes in there, but there's a decent smattering of shiny coins in there. Both brothers, roll me investigation checks.
Oh ho! Here's
This is
the
this is to
test.
find out which one of you notices something first.
Investigation.
Mhm.
I'm the best.
Okay, so you're rifling through all this, and Bonner, you're the first to spot. There's this odd-looking pair of metal boots, and they sort of have this dark metal that's swirled around in them.
Do they
And-
look to be my size?
That at first no, but then you pick them up, and you notice they reshape to be just about perfect size for you.
Ah, I've always wanted a pair of evil shoes. I want to try them on. I'll put them on.
I'll say, okay, so you go ahead and you put them on. That at first holding them, it's pretty hefty metal, and you put them on your feet, and you're a little worried that they're going to weigh you down. But these feel absolutely perfectly light, as if they're just not made of metal at all.
These feel like they got some Dr. Scholl's or something.
Dr. Scholl's an old a dwarven cleric, back in Waterdeep.
Yes.
Okay. So they're made from some sort of dark metal with swirls in it, and they feel on your feet a whole lot lighter than they should be. When you put them on, Bonner, you suddenly feel thrilled of the idea of jumping and falling from a great height, and the idea of that just is sort of exhilarating to you.
Oh man.
And
I jump up and down a few times.
okay, make me an athletics check.
Uh-oh.
You hop about 2.5 feet up and land. No different than usual.
Okay.
All right.
Guys,
Yes.
I feel great jumping around here.
Okay, and then rifling through the pile there, that you find some fancy robes you think might be worth something. So you find 3 fancy robes.
Am I keeping track of money? Is that what we decided? Like party fund?
Sure, yeah, I say any money we find from now
Okay.
on, we can do that, I guess, or...
Mhm.
Yeah.
And here.
Did somebody else write those cloaks down, or should I do it?
I usually keep a running list of everything we collect throughout the whole entire night, but I don't really care. And then
Okay.
we just divide it. I usually just tell everyone what we got at the end, but you can have the 3 robes.
Did you say 3 fine robes?
Fancy.
Fancy
Woohoo.
robes.
Okay, you sort through the pile there, and there's coins of various denominations, but it's a sum total of about 441 gold.
Sweet.
As well as you found the boots there. Let's see here. Yeah, that's sort of what you find amongst those. And you hear from the entrance to the cave, everybody make perception checks. None of you hear.
Uh-oh.
And then again, louder, you hear, "Did you kill it?" And sort of hear the voice
Oh,
of
it's...
Gundren. "Hello?"
I'm gonna yell, "Run!"
Make a deception check. Yeah, you hear him curse in Dwarven, and then just the pat our feet, and then nothing.
Why do I crit on those kind of things? Because
that's
I guess
what makes it awesome.
I'll start booking it after him.
Okay, and he's sort of not trained to be athletic, so after about a minute, you catch up to him, and he's just sort of got like some flashes across his face from where tree branches hit him, and he's like stumbled a couple times. His palms are a little raw from catching himself on the ground, and he's just sort of wide-eyed. He's like, "Oh, what was it? Are the others alive?"
Oh, we got him. It was a troll, and he had lots of treasure.
And you see at the mention of treasure, all sense of fear and like alarm, and his face just disappears, and he gets up and starts running back towards the cave faster than when he ran away. Like, well, hurry up, we got treasure. And so he joins you, and then he follows you in, and sort of looks over everything with you. And he sort of he takes 1 foot, steps into the troll blood, and sort of steps like, oh, sort of then steps around and looks at the treasure, Like, have you counted it?
Yeah, there's about 450 gold there. 441 to be exact.
Well, and then split 7 ways, that'd be 63 each. I'll take my share now.
Well, we divide it by the amount of work done.
And whose idea was it to come this way in the first place?
I believe it was ours, Bonner's.
I'm the one who said there might be treasure, and it was only after that that you wanted to go for it. I think there's a finder's fee here.
What does everyone else think?
I say let him have it.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
just-
getting share of his
Okay.
findings. So
Yeah, just
True.
yeah. Let him take his share, and we'll keep the rest for the party together.
Like, this much appreciated. I'm gonna have to buy new clothes after. And he sort of gestures, to spending days being tortured by goblins, and he's all tattered up. It's like, don't worry, I'll treat you all to several rounds once we get back to Phandalin.
Good enough for me.
Okay. So that's 63 less gold in the party fund, but you seem to have pleased a dwarf. Okay.
Well, I don't see any sense in spending any more time in this blood-filled cave.
Make a nice summer home.
But is there any part of did this troll have a beard?
He had dreadlocks.
Is there any dreadlock that doesn't have blood on it?
Yeah, there'd be some that he fell down face first, so there's still some on the back of his head.
I would like to chop off one of the dreadlock.
Okay, you have a troll dreadlock.
Yes.
It's about like 3 feet long.
I'm gonna 3 feet. I'm gonna cut it into 4, and I'm going to attach it into my beard.
And tie it into your beard.
That's
Okay. I think don't you have like feathers or something in
I
it from
do.
before?
I'm starting to collect things that we murdered.
it's
You-
like
you-
it's like House for Hermit Crab. You know that book?
Except he kills the stuff that he puts in.
And
Okay.
I'm satisfied.
You were looking like a mangy fellow before, but right now you look kind of not disturbing, but a little alarming. It's just these just like some feathers and like this mangy stuff sticking out of your beard. Yeah, you look pretty fearsome.
I'm gonna as I'm tying it in to my beard, I'm gonna say, "They don't call me a barbarian for nothing."
Hmm.
That's
And that you know from growing up that Bonner, you were always the one that sort of like classically, not so much classically, but had like official like training as a fighter. That your brother, he'd sort of ignore the lessons and get in tavern brawls and just sort of always had that attitude of, I don't need to use the correct stance. I don't need to sort of understand tactics. I just need to smash things hard. And so that's where he sort of ended up his way of fighting. And it's pretty effective, but definitely not very civilized.
You mongrel.
Ugh.
All right. You have slain a troll, taken its treasure, and forest a little less dangerous.
All right. How long
Okay.
does this rock glow for?
An hour, I
Let's take it
believe
with
so. I
us.
think light should last an hour, if I'm correct.
Are these hides nice at all that he's lying in, or are they just kind of gross
Oh,
troll
they're
hides?
nasty. That this is where the troll would sort of sit and tend to his fire and eat his food. It apparently slept on top of the treasure pile, but it's sort of essentially got troll butt all over it.
I call Thanar over. I found something else you can tie up your beard with.
Looks just like my bed from home. I'm gonna pass. I say it's too big for my beard. Maybe in a couple years.
We can cut a little strip from it. I'm gonna point to I point to like one really gross part.
I prefer to only have one item per memory.
Understandable. Realize there's such a process.
All
Very
right.
meticulous work being a barbarian.
You have to tell me more about your ways
Nice.
later.
All right.
I wrote a book if you're interested.
Said so. So is a picture book? Children's book.
It's a picture book, only one sentence.
Oh. Do you have a copy?
I do. I keep it in my pocket here on this strip of paper.
Oh, can I read it?
I hand him a piece of parchment and it just says, "Kill things."
Very deep.
This is the way to being a barbarian.
Very deep. How long
Over
does
my,
this take?
over my many years of,
Fauner, you get inspiration. So that means that at one time at your choosing, you can have one die roll re-rolled. It doesn't have to be for you. It could be for an enemy. It could be a friend. You get to choose for a die roll to be re-rolled.
Oh, cool.
So essentially, you give anything advantage or disadvantage that you want. For a d20 that's rolled, not for damage.
Okay.
So I think on the core stats for your character, there's a spot that should say got inspiration or something.
Yeah, it's down by the other in the bottom right.
Ah, yes,
What?
inspiration, yes. And so you can cash that in at any point in the game, no limit in time. But once you use it, you only get the one go. Yeah, you've been
Okay.
doing well.
Okay, wait. So I just click that button, and
And
so
it should change from no to
okay,
yes.
There. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
As a DM, I'm trying to remember all the mechanics and reward you guys accordingly.
Yeah, I had forgotten about inspiration.
Yeah, I too. I'd been trying to sort of reward you guys in extra experience at the end, but then you don't necessarily know what action it was that's being rewarded. So I want to have the one that in the moment that was a good move.
After about 30 seconds to a minute, I'm gonna ask him what he thinks so far of the book.
Well, I mean, it's good. I really like the character development. It's very gripping. Very good.
Yeah,
I can't
And you say that as you get to a page of a picture of somebody like choking somebody out with a grip, and there's just
Fair, that's-
copious
I thought it was-
copious amounts of red for blood just everywhere, just decapitated heads, limbs, and just every scene the floor is just completely blood.
I thought it was just one piece of paper.
Was it one piece of paper?
Yeah, it was, but so on the it's one little scrap. On the front it says "kill things," and on the back there's pictures.
Okay, so it's like a comic strip on the back. So a couple
Yeah,
different
it does.
scenes.
Yeah. And then
And
I'm
it's like just etched in like stick figures with charcoal, but then there's some sort of red ink to represent the blood. So it's just charcoal and blood, the two different colors.
I nudge him, and I say, "That's my blood. Then I helped."
I kind of wipe it off on the ground.
I'm gonna tell him if he ever wants to consider putting away his bow, I could show him a few things with the sword.
I'll have to take you up on that.
And you get a sense that sword, axe, any sort of blunt object will do for him.
So well,
Small mammal.
I finished the book and I handed it back to him. So
I let him know that I'm planning to get it published. I'm just looking for a better illustrator.
I'll have to keep an eye out. Anyways, as we go through.
I'll save you a copy when it goes to print.
You could sign it. That,
Of
yeah, I'd
course.
be honored.
So, all right, so you've got you hand back the parchment, the Thonar's Wonderful Children's Book. An Introduction to Thug Life for Kids by Thonar Elfbane.
Thug life for kids.
Oh.
All right. Does everybody had their fun with the troll cave?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so you you pack up, and there's sort of a lightness to Gundren's step. He sort of starts whistling a tune. He's got a payday. He was not expecting a payday in the middle of the forest after being captured by goblins and dragged around to these different fights. So he's in a good mood. You guys head back to the forest. That I assume you guys want to head to the edge of the forest by the shortest route possible.
Yeah.
Alright, then,
Yeah, why not?
Ryan, go ahead and make a survival check. Okay, you sort of come out, and you're sort of your mind is still thinking of some of the exchanges that you had in the cave, and you saw a dwarf kill a troll by kicking it to the nuts, and that seems still replaying through your mind. So you're not able to quite focus. Like, yes, north is that way. It takes you a moment, and like you're not entirely sure which way is going to be the best path, but you at least know which direction to go. All right. So that was about, because you guys got the pathway about a little before noon, an hour and a half of traveling. So I'd say it's about 2 o'clock. That if you pressed on, you could easily get to the edge of the forest and make some headway on the road.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. When you do that, you have to sort of push your way through some brush. That it's not as easy going, but it takes you after about 2 hours that you can see the edge of the forest line starting to clear out, and you actually step out into grass, and you can see it's all opened up, and you're not exactly sure where you are in reference to Phandalin, but you know that there is the Triboar Trail that just travels parallel south to the tree line, and if you keep heading south, you'll hit it. So it's it's probably about like 3 o'clock, and it would be a full 8-hour day travel to get 8-hour plus day travel to get to Phandalin.
Well,
I'm gonna ask Gundren if there's any like surrounding areas that we could stop at over the overnight or raid and then sleep in, since we're not going to be able to make it all the way back to town.
Like, we're on the frontier. There's not many settlements. I mean, Phandalin is the nearest civilization I know. But there's Cunnybrook or Cunnyberry that's ways off to the east, but that's just a bunch of ruins. You're not going to find a roof over your head for many miles around here, unless you want to go find a cave again.
Well, that worked out pretty nice for us last time.
He sort of looks at his blood-stained boot, and then sort of weighs his backpack that jingles a little. Is like, yeah, I guess it worked out. So it's like 3 in the afternoon. The sun is bright, shining.
we may as well keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys start marching south, and it's a lot easier going because you don't have to make your way through the tree line or anything. It's just sort of these rolling hills, and after about a couple hours, that you find a road that it's going east and west. Now, the Elrine, you would sort of know your direction. That when you chose to go track the troll, you had gone further east. Okay. Therefore, if this is the trail, Phandalin will be the road that goes south to Phandalin will be west on this trail.
Yeah. So let's go west.
Alrighty.
All right. So let's see. That would be about 4 o'clock. That it takes you about 3 hours, and you find the crossroads where the road branches south to Phandalin. So it's about 7 o'clock at night. There's probably maybe 2 hours of usable light left before it would be pretty dark. So if you wanted to push on a bit further, it would get you closer to Phandalin for, like just like 5 hours travel to finish the journey tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Let's
Go as far as we can, really.
Okay, so you push on as far as you can. The sun is just sort of starting to go down over to the west, and it's sort of getting dusk. I would like everybody make perception checks. Thonar with advantage. Okay, so everybody, that all three of you can sort of see in the distance that even the sun's not completely down, that you see a little bit of light and some smoke rising in the distance down the trail. It's probably about 1.5 miles away.
I see some smoke.
I see it too.
Want to check it out?
Preferably.
yes. Let's
Okay.
we probably should.
Okay, so you guys go forward, and after about at 10 minutes, you can sort of hear on the breeze just a little bit of music.
Is it good music?
Is it, yeah, I was about to say.
And you can sort of see down the path that this is sort of just rolling hills. There's not too many trees. That it looks like there's some sort of impromptu camp just off the side of the trail, about 1/2 mile ahead. And that's sort of the source of the bit of light and the smoke that's coming up.
What kind of music is it? Is it?
Can you not hear it?
Oh, I can hear it now. Sounds like the music of me people. Makes me want to dance. I'm gonna do a little jig.
Seems friendly enough.
Yeah, let's go take a closer look.
Okay. So you guys, you go ahead and you walk up, and you just sort of, do you want to catch a peek of what's going on first, or just walk up the trail?
Yeah, maybe kind of look to see, make sure people aren't just getting like sacrificed or something.
A happy sacrifice. A folk, the human sacrifice folk dance. But as you get closer, you can see that there's pulled off to the side of the road. That there's a contingent that there's some tents set up. There's some campfires, as well as 4 large carts, sort of covered wagons that are sort of circled around, and on the side of the tarp that covers the carts is the image of a blue lion's head. As well as you see that there are those, that there's the camp, even though they're sort of mixed together, there's a little bit of a separation where there's the carts with some people are on those, and then there's these sort of very colorful tents, bright colors, sort of patchwork put together, and but everybody seems to be mingling around some fires in between the two. You also notice that there's a couple people just sort of standing, not looking into the fire, but sort of keeping watch out to the edge. You guys are enough distance away. You don't think they've seen you yet, though.
What's the name of the? I'm trying to remember of the Blue Lion.
The Lion Shield caravans.
Yeah, because we saw them in Findle, right?
Yeah, Linen Greyland.
Linen Greywind. Yeah, she was the running the Lion Shield coster in Phandalin, and that she worked for the Lion Shield caravans. They're a trading company that works here in the north, as well as runs the trade routes to the east.
I guess I say to the others that I'd like to go up and tell them that we know Linen, and that we've done business with her, and ask if we can spend the night in their company.
Okay, so you go up and you're getting close, and the sentry sort of can see you, and he sort of turns and says something, and another one of the buddies comes up next to him. And as you get closer, they're not visibly alarmed, they're not threatening you, but they just sort of say, "Hold, who's there?"
The name's Thonar.
And what
That-
business have you on the road tonight?
We just came from clearing out some goblin camps on our way back to Phandalin. We were just there a couple of days ago with Linen and Greywind and bought some goods from her. I recognize your symbol from her store.
That he sort of takes a moment, that this is a fair bit to digest. You're talking about killing goblins and then being in town. He sort of looks at the other guy, and the guy says, sort of shrugs. It's like, and the first one says, "Oh, wait here a moment." And the second guy goes back into the camp and sort of disappears from sight. While that's happening, one of the other campers has noticed that the sentries were talking to somebody, and he sort of comes up to the guard, slaps him on the shoulder, and says, "My friend, who do we have here?" And he's sort of this big, not fat, but a bit portly. He's got this long goatee and slicked back black hair. And he says, "Do we have some more friends who will be joining us for the evening?" And the sentry says, "Yeah, they were just telling us about some goblins they killed, and that they know some lady named Linen in Phandalin. I sent Jarek to, what name am I going to use? Anyway, I sent the other guy to check with Bedrick. I sent the other guy to check it with Bedrick, what we should do." It's like, "Oh, that these are just weary travelers." Switching the wrong accent there. "My friend, yes, that is the one. These are just some weary travelers who have been on the road after a long day. We shall invite them in. Yes, come. And the sentry's just sort of like, "Hey, no, that, where is it? No, Rico, I'd really like to check with Bedrick first." It's okay. Come, all are welcome at the fire tonight." So the one portly man with a long goatee is beckoning you in. He seems very friendly.
Are we all there, or is it just Thonar that went to talk to?
It's the whole group of you, all
okay.
7 of you, including Gundren. Gundren's like, "Will there be warm food?" And Rico says, "Of course! What kind of people do you think we are, traveling without a warm meal? Come, fill your bellies. I want to hear stories."
We'll gladly accept your hospitality.
Okay, so you follow him. And he's like, "Do not mind the lion shield. That they are sticking muds. Yes, they are. But we gypsies, we have the traveling life. We are very welcoming. Come, join food with us. We share with you. You share with us. We have a good time." And so he sort of leads you to one of the fires, and there's some other people that you notice that the people that appear to be the lion shield are sort of clean cut, regular. The ones on Sentry Duty, they didn't have armor or anything, but they had, sort of nice long swords strapped to their side, sort of were standing upright. These other ones, they're the ones playing the music. They're the ones with sort of patchwork clothes, very colorful tents, and they're all very happy and smiling to see you. And they're like, "Travelers, welcome!" And so they hand you a meal, and Rico sort of, after everybody's got a meal, sits down and he's like, "So we give you food, we hear stories. What brings you to this part of the world that we met the caravans on the roads the other day and decided to travel together? Again, they stick in the muds, but at least they make good company. Tell me," he turns to you, Bonar Thunder. "Obviously, you two are related. What stories can you tell us? What brings you here?"
Well, do you want to know why we're here, or do you want stories?
"I want the story of why you are here."
Well, most recently, well, earlier today actually, we killed a big troll.
No, really?
Yeah, well,
You joke. What, where was this troll?
well, he was in a cave back up north a bit, and we were there. We tracked him down to his hiding spot, and he was in his cave, and we jumped him. And
You
my
are
brother
monster
here.
hunters.
Yes, we are.
Oh,
My brother
very
here.
fabulous.
I've got.
He jumps on him and cuts his throat, but that didn't bring him down. So I had to finish him off with a quick swift to his man parts, troll parts. I don't even know. I don't even know what they're called.
Roll persuasion. He's like, you are kidding. Oh, that is a good story, but I want to know what happened. And Gundren pipes up. He's like, no, it's true. I saw the body. I stepped in the blood, and he shows his boot. Enrico sort of goes over, looks at his boot. He sniffs. Oh,
Sniff
that is
the
blood.
beard. Sniff his beard.
That is blood, and that is foul. Perhaps there is some truth to this. You are not gifted with a silver tongue, but perhaps you speak the truth.
I lean over to him and I wave my the dread of the troll in his face. I said, "This here's a troll tread, cut off fresh earlier this morning."
And the rest of the group will sort of agree and sort of the consensus, and everybody's sort of earnestly like, really? And so this is what you do. You go find trolls. Why were you tracking this troll? I want to hear all. Please.
Well, we thought it was an elephant at first, and so
Really?
yeah.
Some of us.
He sort of thinks for a moment, looks at Bonar, looks back at the group. Okay.
I'll just say this: I'm not picky about what I hunt.
Oh, so you are mercenary. If we pay you, you kill him. And he points to one of his buddies there, who's has been drinking with him, and he points at his buddy, and his buddy points back at him. He's like, "Hey!"
I whispered to him, "If the price is right, I'll kill anyone you want."
Roll persuasion. He whispers back to you. Well, I think I saw a mouse in one of those carts. Perhaps you go get that one. I give you a copper. And then he has a hearty shake. You are great. So, why you fight this troll? What brought you to find this troll?
Well,
We're
didn't
just
like-
looking to make the world a safer place.
We didn't like the idea of knowing there's a troll nearby in the woods and letting it kind of own the place, you know?
So you are from the woods up north. That's where you live?
No, I just don't like the idea of a dangerous, unprotected forest.
So you, I understand. You a tree boy, elf man. But why else these others, if not live in the forest, why are you there?
There was money to be had if we killed a band of goblins that were harassing Phandalin.
Oh, so you kill goblins. Oh, very good. That 2 days ago, we are riding down the trail here, and orcs come out and attack us. Fortunately, the Alliance Shield, they're very scary. Get the orcs go away, but it was very exciting. Lots of yelling and shouting. But I think if they have not been there, if they had not had swords, those orcs would have done the rest of us away.
We're not,
Very good. Kill goblins, kill orcs, the greenskins, all bad.
We've met a few good ones.
You're right, perhaps. And he sort of says, right, Bjorken? And he points across, and you see across the fire is actually a half-orc who raises a glass and takes a big swig of his ale. He's like, my brethren are crazy. They fight crazy, I drink crazy. It's good time. And he takes a drink.
Well, I'm gonna ask him. So you heard our story. You know why we're here. What brings you to these parts?
Oh, we are gypsies. We travel the world. We were over in I gotta get the name right. We were over in the land of Aeonland now, performing for the masses over there. Very different country from over here. Very prim and proper. They speak with funny accents like these. And he actually points to Salazar. He's like, actually, they look much like you, my friend. My friend, are you from this land?
What was the name of it?
Aeonland. Aonlin. Aeonland. You have the look. Are you one of the Jade Sentinels? Yes, you have the dress. And Salazar says, no, I am not. They, yes, you were red, they were green. Perhaps you are one of those mountain monks, yes? And he just sort of goes silent and gives a small nod. Oh, far away from home you are, friend. But yes, we were in this one's homeland, travel around, perform in the cities. They not see people perform like us. They enjoy it. We make money, and then come this way on the trail. We meet with the Lion Shield, and they are headed west to share their goods. That there is they have a shop in this town, and so we follow them to the town. Perhaps perform for the town. At this point, there is a man who's very upright. He's not very wiry. He's got gray hair, starting to bald a little bit on top, gray beard, shortly trimmed, and you notice a nasty scar running across his neck. And he comes up and he says, Rico, are you inviting people into my camp again? And Rico says, your camp? They are sitting at my fire. Oh, Bedrick, you do not need to worry. And Bedrick says, I thought I told you, you gotta check with me first before inviting people. They sort of stare each other down for a bit. Then both of them crack a smile and start laughing. And Bedrick's like, seriously, be cautious, but I trust your judgment, man. And who may I say I have the acquaintance of meeting here? And he extends sort of a gesture to the rest of you.
I'm Bonner, and this is my brother Thonar.
Pleased to meet you.
My name is Elrine. This is our impromptu leader, contractor, if you will, Gundren, Rockseeker.
Hello, it's good to meet a friend of the Lion Shield that good supplies them. And Bedrick says, yeah, but I run security for this particular caravan we ran into a little bit of trouble a couple days ago. Found this group being attacked by orcs. It's gotten a little wild out here lately. Haven't had a caravan back coming west in a while, or coming from the west in a while. That figure something might be up. But anyway, gonna check in Phandalin here. There's an outpost of ours there. Gotta get resupplied. That one of my men, he came and told me that you're friends with Linen.
We dealt with her a couple days ago, actually, back in Phandalin. I believe we got this plate armor from her. And I guess gesture to whoever's wearing that.
It's
That'd be
Bonner.
me.
He sort of takes like, yeah, that's our work. Linen, Greywind?
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Never met her, only heard her by reputation. Stand-up gal, from what I hear. But glad to hear that. I didn't catch the whole story that you've been telling Rico here, but you guys look like you've seen a few days weary work. And he sort of looks you guys up and down. And Bonner, you still have a bit of troll blood splattered on you from one of the arrows when he yanked the arrow out of him. As well
kinda
as just
just-
sort of the general weariness from fighting and killing an entire goblin clan and a troll, owl bears. Yeah, you look a little weary, dings, scrapes, and this guy sort of notices. He's like, like, yeah, I've seen a few things in my day. I can recognize a rough and tumble group. But I got the two dwarves that rock and roll up front. This guy sneaks in and whirls about, points to Salazar. And oh my, Lizard Man probably makes stuff explode as well. Am I right? And he sort of looks at Salazar, or to Cathod. And then we got the two elves, shooting from the back. I know how it goes. And he sort of takes him on. He's like, I live and breathe. That's Arrowbin's little shadow. It's been years. And he looks at Selena. And everybody make perception checks. Okay. Bonnar and Elrine, at the mention of the name Arrowbin, Selena goes completely white and her eyes go wide. Actually, I'm going to see if Gretchen would be up to coming and role playing this out.
Jamming to this music. Music hype.
Music hype.
Music hype.
Since I rolled a 1. What is that called?
Rolling a 1. I don't know about
Critical failure,
Critical
fumble,
fail,
critical
yeah.
miss.
Critical fumble. I'd probably say Shadow. The sun's not even out, or something like that.
Hey, what was that guy's name? Arrowbin?
Arrowbin, yeah.
It's
I
the one. It's the bucket, man. Full of arrows. Arrowbin hype. Arrowbin hype.
Arrowbin hype. I don't even know how to spell it, but Hooked on Pahonix worked for me.
Bugs me how the.
I think it's AEROBYNN.
Sure.
I just made that up.
So I sort of gave her the lowdown on what was going on. Yeah. That's fine. I interrupted you reading your book. So you're there, you're at a campfire with some gypsies. The gypsy leader Rico has been sort of hearing stories from you. Tell me stories, it's great. And then Bedrick, the head of security for the caravan, had come up and he was sort of talking and getting to know the group, sort of running over him. And as he's sort of looking at the pair of elves, he looks at you and says, "Hey, you're Arrowbin's little shadow. It's been years I haven't seen you." It's spelled Arrowbin, but close.
Close enough.
Oh, I guessed
that
it.
well, the Elvish
Except for the
spelling
E, I
of that,
added an E.
Oh yeah, of course.
right? That back in Waterdeep, you had just started helping with jobs. Elaine, Selena, 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 and sort of points at you. How do you react? This is that, and you know you had when you were first trained well enough to assist on missions, you had been helping out with some missions in the city of Waterdeep. What you remember is that there was one particular job that went south and didn't go very well, and Arobin was very upset. You guys left the city immediately after that. So that's all you remember. As well as you had worked with some of the local entities in that city. So the city of Waterdeep, worked there for a couple of years when you were first starting to assist on missions, and then one job you weren't working with went badly, and you left town. So this man has recognized you from something that was like 50 years ago. Yeah.
Alright, I had to wake up.
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry to sort of pull you into this. That I planned up this thing to pull out some backstory. And I didn't want to just sort of answer it for you.
Alright,
I wanted to let you have
Yeah.
control of your
I
character.
understand. I look at.
I think you were. She's currently muted, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Here, just a second. Down to. Unmute you. All right. So are you able to hear now?
What's this gypsy's name?
The gypsy is Rico. The man currently talking to you is Bedrick. He's head of security for the trading caravan. So it's a band of merchants and a group of gypsies are camping together. So the gypsy leader, Rico, invited you in, and then the head of security for the merchants came over to check out these new people who had joined the camp. And the head of security for the merchants, he's the one talking to you.
Alright. I look at the head security and I say that I have not been associated with her then for a very long time.
Really? I mean, it was years ago, but he seemed to prize you like a father prizes a daughter. And if you've gone your separate ways, I understand. I kind of have gotten out of the business myself, and he sort of inadvertently rubs the nasty scar across his neck. Like after had a closer call than I'd like to have had. A bit different business, and sort of points towards the caravan. It's let's just say it's often much safer trying to make money than take money.
Tell me, is that compliments from Arabin?
Hmm?
I say to him, tell me, I point to a scar. I'm like, tell me, is that compliments from Arabin?
Nah. Arabin always had a rod up his butt, but he and I were on good terms. This was after he had left town. But I got into a deal that didn't go so well. I was left for dead, but had a bit more grit left in me than they expected. But this always reminds me. You don't make friends with bad bedfellows.
Then I would advise you to end your friendship with Arabin.
Never. What'd you say?
I said, then I advise you to end your friendship with Arabin.
To end your friendship with Arabin. Like, okay. Haven't seen him in many years. Just remember the fellow. Last I know, he was set up in Averine. And you know that is the city where he currently is. I take it you're not on good terms with him?
I can say that. I give, but. Alright.
What? Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah then. Dangerous man to cross, but I'm sure you have your reasons. I won't bother the rest of you much more. But enjoy the fun. These folks are a good group. Take care, and Bedrick will actually leave the campfire, unless anybody has anything to say.
Kind of feel awkward of the whole exchange. Don't know what to say.
And meanwhile, Rico has just been sort of smiling incredulously, looking at Selena. Little one, you say so little, and then say so much that means so little. I want to know so much more. But, I think you'd prefer I not ask? So the sort of leader of the gypsies that brought you guys into camp is what I was saying. I'd love to hear more if you're willing to say so, but I doubt you're willing to talk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to talk too fast. I know you just sort of got here.
I just like that. Okay,
She's tired. Just
Yeah, sorry, honey. Yeah.
I mean, character man. Selena's tired from fighting that troll.
yeah.
Yep.
If we could
Okay.
find a place to sleep,
Yeah.
that would
That's
be
nice.
that
Sorry.
would be wonderful.
Wonderful. We will keep watch at night. It is a safe place here. You may put your bedroll wherever you please, except my tent.
Fair enough.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm gonna ask him which
Thank
one's
you.
his tent.
He's like, but if I tell you, then you can try and get in.
I'm
And
gonna nudge my brother and whisper to him. I'm gonna tell him that I like this guy, but I don't trust him fully.
okay.
I agree.
Okay, so do you guys want to sort of go enjoy the evening, have some drinks, some laughs, some music, and then head out or bed down for the night?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So that you guys sort of go and you find some spots. Any are people finding tents or sleeping under the stars? It's a clear night.
I'll sleep under the stars.
Sorry, honey, I dragged you into it.
I just wish I was more alert to like.
I know. I wanted to let you roleplay. So I wasn't gonna like take the spotlight from your character. Okay. So it's a clear enough night that you, for anybody who wanted to, there was some strong drink to partake in, so your heads are tipsy and lightheaded. It's quite a pleasant feeling. You feel sleepy. You've had a weary day. It wasn't as life-threatening as other experiences you've had, but it was still a lot of travel and a troll and a lot of hiking, and but you've seemed to have found yourself among some pleasant folk, and you drift off for the night, sound of the local wildlife, and I guess that's where we'll end for the night.
I hear
All
footsteps.
right.
You hear footsteps.
It sounded like there was some sort of animal or something in the soundtrack.
Coming for you.
Okay.
Yay.
So, but I think you'll have a fun time in the morning with the gypsy group. Alright? So
Alright.
let's see here. We killed a troll. So, Thonar, Bonar, Elrine, each of you 600 experience.
Ooh.
Nice. I'm at 43.
Okay, then Selena gets 200.
Yeah, it's true.
What was Selena at before this?
What do you mean? Too much
Like,
what?
Just 100.
No, I'm saying they get 600, you get 200. Well, here's the thing. You get half experience, your experience share for contributing to the fight of the troll. Whether here or not, it's distributed evenly amongst the group. The people who are not here, their value gets cut in half. So you got 150 from that. For me dragging you out of bed, I'm going to give you 50 experience. Okay, so you get 200. They get 3 times as much.
Yeah. 200 seems fair for
Okay, so I'll.
breaking my beauty rest.
Yes, I'm sorry, honey. I was eager for you to get to feel awkward being asked about your past. I'm saying that to Gretchen. Yes. Okay, so that's Salazar. God. Okay. Did you add your experience? No. I'll just do it for you. I can pull up your character sheet and just update it.
So how did the game go?
Current XP. I did not copy your current XP from the previous game. I'll do that later. The game went well. You guys, they talked with the Brown Tooths, found out that Droop has been promoted to the new chieftain,
Oh.
and Garp, the old one, that he's the new tribe shaman,
Okay.
and that they want these guys to bring the message to Phandalin that they're willing to essentially trade some of their furs for tools and goods with Phandalin. They want to set up that trade. That it was the Kragmas that were pillaging and destroying stuff, but they are just sort of a friendly hunting tribe, and that they'd be willing to exchange pelts for tools. So you guys are bringing that message. On the way back, you guys decided to track down a trail of prints that you had found. Led to a cave where you found and killed a troll and found its treasure stash. And Bonar, as you've had a chance to sort of rest at the campfire and hear stories, you sort of have been wiggling your toes in your boots and getting a sense of what's been going on with those. Second here. That as you're sort of sitting there listening to stories, there's a moment that flashes through your mind, and that you see this rock just floating amongst the stars, and then there's this large, bright object that slowly approaches. The object gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start to plummet down, and you see land and ocean and clouds. As this rock plummets down, it sets on fire, and it's burning up and smashes into the ground. And you sort of wake up from that slight daydream, and you get a sense of these boots came from that rock. These are Skyfall boots that they require attunement, and while attuned to these boots, you have resistance to falling damage. Right, and once per long rest, and while you are outside, you can use your use your action to activate the boots. Choose a location within 100 feet of where you're standing. You teleport into the sky, and then free fall at intense speed down on the target location. All creatures within a 10-foot radius must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, they take 1d8 thunder damage and 1d8 fire damage and are knocked prone. On a success, they take half damage and are not knocked prone.
Oh my goodness.
If you land on top of a creature, make a contested athletics check. The loser falls down prone and takes 1d8 bludgeoning damage. So you can now teleport into the sky and fall like a meteor.
That is amazing.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yep.
That's gonna be fun.
That is now in your journal.
Beautiful.
So that you sort of attune to that as you've sort of been resting around the fire and take your... actually, we'll say that dream happens in the middle of the night and you wake up in the morning with that knowledge.
Awesome.
Yeah, that works. So you are attuned. That's your first thing you're attuned to. And then your brother is attuned to the necklace. I think that's currently all the items that are attuned. Unless, does the glass staff require attunement? I'll figure that out. But yeah, that should be a fun one.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it must be attuned to the staff. So Cathod is attuned to that. Yep. So that should be
10-foot
fun for you to
radius.
use.
That's awesome.
So now Bonner has a dynamic entry.
Now when I kick in a door, I can do it
Yeah.
with style.
No, you have to be outside to use it.
Uh,
Yep, because you have to fall from the sky.
if I kick in the outside door, if I kick in the skylight.
Oh, that would be great. If there's a skylight, you just smash through the skylight.
Make my own skylight. What are you talking about? Ooh,
All right.
do a bit of remodeling.
So,
Can you break like a wooden roof? How much damage does it do? 2d6?
it does. It does. If you
1d8
land
thunder
on,
and 1d8 fire.
right, so it's essentially the equivalent to a thunderwave spell in damage, but rather than pushing away, it knocks prone.
Mhm.
As well as if you fall directly on top of the target, you have a chance to knock them prone and land on top of them, or you fall into them and you get knocked over. So it's sort of landing directly on somebody is a two-edged sword.
What if you like jumped on a house with like a thin roof?
I would say that you can make the athletics check to see if you break through the roof.
Oh, I like it.
So, oh, wait. Dang it, I forgot to... Ah, I completely forgot to move you guys over.
Aw.
Where?
The gypsy camp.
Immersion.
Oh.
Hold on.
That's so funny.
I'll just like stare at it for a minute here. Get it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then replay this through your mind.
La, 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 la.
Yes. Well done. Well done, Bonner. Yeah.
Told you the song of my people. Not a very lively dancer.
Look at your
He's
guy
doing
so
his
big.
best.
If you drag it over from your bio and info
Uh,
instead.
Now, if you could make all three dance at once, that would be worthwhile.
Can't do it.
Yep.
You can't?
Oh, Ryan's doing flips,
Parkour.
breakdancing.
Run up the tree.
Whoops.
Wait, you want me to join in?
No, I'm just checking to see what you think of it. What you're making of it. Alright. This is a great end to a little bit of a rough day.
Yeah. Did he tell him what we did today?
Oh yeah, today was very fun. I wasn't making much deal about it, but I actually had surgery today.
Oh,
Where,
wow.
Really? Oh.
I had a lump behind my. I took my headphones out, so I don't know if they can. Is it showing on the camera?
It is a little bit.
Okay. So here, I had a lump behind my left jawline.
No, up.
Is that why you didn't have the
There.
large headphones on?
Yes, because I didn't want the bacteria and stuff from the headphones pressing around my ears into that. So I had that taken out today, so that was fun. I'm glad that the anesthesia wooziness has definitely worn off.
Oh man, yeah.
Yep, so you know the deal. But I was kind of determined. I'm like, dang it, I've got some fun that I have planned for the story, and I enjoy doing this. We're doing the game, darn it.
Yeah.
Well, glad
So-
that you were
Yeah,
able to make it tonight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I feel like there are
Yeah.
definitely some like funnier moments than in some of the other ones.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
and stuff.
that I will say with a group of 3, it's much easier to give you individual attention and sort of play off of it rather than having to go through the all 6 players. Bonar cast mirror image. You get 100 experience for that.
Oh my. How did you do that?
You just select all of them and then.
Oh. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yay.
That's awesome. Oh, look at that.
Bonar, as you dream, after the dream of the meteor hitting, you have a dream of little pixie Elrines dancing around your head.
That's so weird. I might dream a little pixie eyes.
Yeah, sorry to drag you out of it, but you had said you wanted like opportunity to role play.
I know.
I know, and then I dragged you out here.
Like, if I know he would have done it tonight, I would not have
But-
asked.
But that would be telling. You have to experience it in the story. I can't let you know all the things I'm going to be doing except for all the other things I've told you we're going to be doing.